We're unboxing and reviewing the Racechip GTS Black, their newest version for the Porsche Macan 2.0. I bought this for my wife's car, and I ordered it about 2 to 3 days ago, and it arrived pretty quickly with their standard shipping. And so let's take a look. We're going to do the unboxing and then we're going to go on to do some installation. So we'll take a look, see what we have in the box here. This is a pretty nice box that comes in. And this is for their brand new units. It looks a little bit different from the first generation they had last year. It even comes with a LED display, or that LCD display up front that tells you what mode it's supposed to be in. But being an engine bay, it's not that, you would know anyways. And this particular version comes with app control, so you can see what it is in your app once you get it connected. So okay, what we have in the box, we have 3 boxes, 2 manuals, and this one's for the actual unit. It's made of plastic. It's pretty light. It's less rugged than I had imagined, so I hope it will hold up well sitting in the engine bay with the heat, with the vibration. We'll see what's in this box here. Okay, so some zip ties. These are the connector. They call it the Fixing System Pro 360-degree fixing clips. It's for attaching to the back of the actual module and allow you to zip tie it in various different locations. The harnesses, it also comes with instruction on how to make the connection on the cables, just so because you can connect it the wrong way, and which can damage pin, or simply it just won't work. So here we go. There's 3 sets of harnesses, and marked A, B, and C. It's pretty clearly marked. It's hard to screw up or get confused. And that's A, B, and C. So we'll figure out what these are. And this I assume is connecting to the actual module itself. It comes with 2 manuals. It says specifically for Porsche Macan 2.0 TFSI, and it also comes with a guide that tells you how to detach the connectors on the car. There's locking mechanisms. It's car specific. Okay, so here are all the stuff that we have in the box. You have the harness, the actual Racechip Black GTS Black unit, 4 connecting clips, some zip ties, and 2 manuals. So going through the manual, it tells us let's go unlock the car, pop the hood, and get things started. It asks you to, once you pop the hood and open it up, actually lock the car back up and wait 10 minutes. And I assume this is so all the electronics shuts down, so you don't short circuit anything as you're connecting the wires. And it also says if you have those comfort axes, once you lock it, take the key about 10 meters away, and so it doesn't sense that the key is close by. So everything shuts down. So this is when I started looking, but I popped the engine hood. I started looking at the instruction and realized the manual is not that good. So the engine cover pops off very easily. It's 4 small clips, and you shouldn't have to use much force. But when I started looking at the manual, I realized it only shows connection to 2 harnesses, A and B, and the location for A is incorrect because it's actually a Audi model, not the actual Porsche Macan. So harness A turbo boost pressure sensor is actually on the front driver's side of the vehicle, close to the headlight, and harness B manifold absolute pressure connection is right smack dab in the top middle of the engine. The harness C is where I had to do some digging online and found that it's for the camshaft sensor, and it's on the passenger side firewall of the vehicle, and that's the one that's not mentioned anywhere in the manual or on their website. So this is the turbo boost pressure sensor. It has that locking mechanism as the instructions showed, and it tells you how to pull it off. If it's too tight, push it in a little and then unlock before you pull. That's a little trick. It should come off pretty easily. Make sure you take a look at the locking clips so you don't break any clips or any connectors. That's actually a guide that's pretty handy. So for the turbo boost pressure, you shouldn't have to be able to mess up, because the shape of it, one side is rounded, the other side is square, so you can really only plug it in one way. But on the other two is where that instruction comes in, where you want to make sure you plug it in the correct direction and not the opposite, because that can it actually can get connected, it just won't click in all the way, and that's when you can screw things up. Also, before you clip everything in, make sure you think about how you want to route all the cables so it's nice and clean, and you don't have to disconnect after you make that connection trying to route everything. So be careful not to have any of the cables close to any moving parts, so any pulleys, any belts, any fans. This is the clip for that direct manifold pressure. You pull out that gray part, which unlocks, pushes on the lock and pull, and it should come off pretty easily. For the camshaft sensor, it's the exact same type of lock. Just make sure you don't pull out the wrong ones. There's quite a few sensors back there, few plugs back there, so make sure you get the right one, which is on the very back with this little locking mechanism. Pull out the tab, pushes it down, and pull out the entire plug. It should come off very easily. So the camshaft sensor is the farthest from where you probably will have the unit, so I would suggest routing it through the back of the car. As long as it's away from any moving parts, anything that could damage it, it should be okay. Also, try to zip tie it to either plastic mounting part or any type of chassis, so it's secure and you're not zip tying it to any hoses, even if the hose look very robust, because that can eventually shred any kind of covering that you have on the hose. So after you plug everything in, you should be all done. Put the engine cover back on, and make sure all the cables, all the wires are routed correctly, and you are ready to plug in the actual units. So once the engine cover's back on, we just need to clean up the cable, zip tie everything to something solid, something that's not going to get damaged, and you should be ready to go. You put in those fastening clips on the actual Racechip module and zip tie it to a nice location. I found a nice rail on the front of the vehicle that you could zip tie it to, and it's pretty solid, pretty safe. I also had to go back and clean up the cable a little more after I shot the video, so it's out of the way of everything. And after that, you just hop in the car, start the vehicle just to see if you get any error messages, if it even starts, and rev it a couple of times just to make sure you're good. And after that, close the hood, clean up all your tools, and you're ready to go. So that's it. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully this helps you understand how to do the install a little better. The instruction manual wasn't the clearest, and give me a shout if you have any questions.